What up, my Alpha Pack? Carly Alpha here. Today I'm actually going to be doing a supernatural cosplay, Abaddon's sewn neck. So give it a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Today's shout out actually goes to all of you because you've been supporting me through the long run, and I'm happy about that. So here's a little information about her. She's on Supernatural. She's a demon from hell who becomes a Hell Knight. And basically, when I saw her neck, I wanted to do this video. So let's get this party started. What you are going to need: cotton balls, tissues, liquid latex, makeup, thread, needle, makeup, and a stick. So I started basically doing a little bit of an outline so that I could see what I wanted to do. And I had to make sure that I was able to see it through the camera and through the mirror. And I was happy on how I did it. I actually messed up one time. So then I took the skin makeup, liquid makeup, and I decided to cover it up to try to blend it in a little bit, to make it look a little realistic on the inside for the rest of it. Then I started doing a very thin layer of liquid latex. And I had toilet paper that I carefully applied on the liquid latex. Then I covered it up as I went on. And I made sure that I did a little bit more of an upper layer to it. So that's exactly what I did. And I made sure that all the sides were stuck to my skin. And I wanted to do like a cut look, so I did the exact same thing on the bottom. And I was really happy on how I did it. And then I had to do the other side, but I had to remember I had to maybe blend in the liquid latex a bit with my skin to make it seem that it was stuck there. So that's exactly what I had to do. And I was happy, but you got to make sure that there are no gaps in the latex, because if there are, you will have to apply more and it'll take more to dry. So I applied a lower layer and I was happy about it. So basically you can add more layers, so I just decided to add one more. And I tore a little bit to make it a little bit of a tear edge towards it. And so then you just add more latex if you need it. So that's what you do. And then I decided to start blending it towards the end. And you gotta make sure that everything is sticking to your skin. You gotta make sure that everything's okay. Basically, I decided to take a bit of a cotton ball, and I actually applied it to the middle of it to give it that extra muscle kind of tone look. And so once again, I decided to blend it more. Basically, then next what I did, I took the liquid skin makeup and I started applying it little by little, and I wanted to rub it in to make sure that it would stick. And I was happy on how I did it, but as I realized I had to put a little bit more on, and I realized that sometimes it might tear away, so that's why you add a little bit more makeup to the end of it. And I really wanted to cover that up to make it look like it was actually my neck. And so then I blended it with a little bit of darkening makeup on the edges to make it look like it was really irritated. And I love the skin tone. I love the tone that I used to make it darken a bit. And I just had to make sure that it was blending in well. And that's what I did. Then you basically want to start carefully tearing away at the edges. Even though I didn't want to, I had to use scissors in order to tear it away. But then I used my wooden stick to make sure that I tore away the right amount. Even though it's not a good idea to use scissors, I had to because it wasn't working that way. So basically, I had to carefully tear it away with the scissors as I went. And you also want to part the latex to make it look like it was actually an open cut. And so I decided to add a bit more of an extra bottom layer to it to give it that extra loose skin so I could peel away a little bit more. Then I just added the skin. I added more of the skin tone to it as soon as I thought it was good enough. And I also tore away more because I noticed that the right side of my head wasn't as torn as the left. So I basically had to trim a bit more. Next, what I did, I took some red and I went on the inside of the neck and I actually started lightly brushing on. But I went in the middle, I went a bit more rough with the skin tone. Basically, you start dark. You really want to start out dark first of all, and then on the edges you can add a little bit more color to make it irritated looking. So basically you just keep going with it. On the edges, I remember I had to look up pictures to find out where my muscles were in my neck, so I just decided to do a little bit of detailing that was small because I would be sewing it up soon, because I wanted to make it look noticeable, but not too noticeable. I also wanted to make it look like an old wound, but one that wasn't that infected. I added a little bit of yellow makeup into it. And I was really happy on how it turned out. So I just had to make sure that all the skin was there, and I didn't want to tear anything away, because that would suck if I had to. So next I decided to double layer the thread. And you gotta make sure that it's nice and even, because if it's not, it could break. Now I just decided to sew the edges together, and so to do that I actually had to use another mirror. So basically what you want to do is you want to be very careful not to get yourself, because I tagged myself once. So basically you just do it how you would if you sew, you can use any kind of technique you want, but I would recommend doing the way that Abaddon did, but I didn't go that way. But I decided to do a little bit more of a messy look, and that's exactly what I did. And I would also really recommend black thread to make it more visible. And if you don't have black thread, you can actually put some of your thread in black ink, or black paint for that matter. Just make sure that the thread is visible. And you want to make sure that none of the thread is loose, and if it is, you can put a little bit of liquid latex on it to help. Then you just basically tie it off, and you make sure that the thread is barely visible. And there you go. That is my tutorial for Abaddon's neck. So give it a like, subscribe, and comment down below. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace out.